Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 2. SOSC 116, you got through that first week, that introductory week, and now we're on to the first full week of the class. Now, I like what I saw last week. I think you did a good job with the discussion board. I like the interactions you had with each other. Look, the better you do that stuff now, the better off you're going to be going forward because you're in an online class. You don't see people in person. So the better you kind of interact with people and get to know each other now this way in an online fashion, the more comfortable you're going to feel with online education down the road. And what's interesting is you're probably going to encounter some of these students that are your classmates right now in classes in subsequent terms. So it's kind of nice to make friends even in a class like this. So anyway, very nicely done. I think we're starting off on the right foot. So what are we going to do in week 2? All right, we're really going to get into it. Resumes, cover letters. That's primarily what we're going to be talking about this week. Yes, we're going to talk about Donald Super's lifespan theory, and there's an exercise that goes along with that, and definitely read over that information very well. I don't want to say anything more about it now. We have a couple of other exercises related to professional skills and trying to kind of better understand what professional skills you may possess or which ones you think are going to be very important for your kind of field. So we've got those kind of 3 assignments all together that are important. There are kind of smaller ones though, because really the bulk of our work this week is going to be related to resumes and cover letters. So we're going to be working on putting together initial resumes and cover letters. Now I mean initial, all right? That means that these don't have to be perfect. So you're going to upload a resume and upload a cover letter. Many of you already have some, which is fantastic. If you have a resume, you can just upload it and that's going to be the assignment. You may have a cover letter and then upload that as well and you're good. They're not going to be perfect. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to kind of help you better understand what looks good and what can be improved, that kind of stuff. If you don't have a resume or cover letter, look at the information there. Obviously, even if you do have a resume or cover letter, look through all the information that's presented, but put one together. And again, it may not be perfect. Don't expect it to be perfect. It's an initial resume. It's an initial cover letter. Okay, we're going to be doing a lot with these things throughout this term and in subsequent terms in some of the other social classes and eventually in your capstone class at the end of your time here at Bryan Stratton. So the resumes, why does this really matter? Okay, well, the resume really is going to be the thing that speaks to your strengths more than anything else when it comes to looking for a job. Long before anybody talks to you on the phone, long before anybody calls you in for an interview, they're looking at your resume. And so you really want this thing to sing your praises as much as possible. Now, with that said, you're not writing a book, right? A resume is meant to be a couple of pages tops. Okay, don't have people tell you, oh, it can only be 1 page and nothing else. That's not true. If you have a lot of experience, you're not going to jam all of that onto 1 page. So your resume, though, is going to be something that really highlights why you are the best candidate for a given position. Okay, many people end up having 2 or 3 resumes. They basically say the same stuff, but they might be organized a little differently based on the kind of position they're applying for. That's actually quite common nowadays. There's many different kinds of resumes, as you'll see, lots of templates you can use, all sorts of things like that. But a resume, remember, is meant to speak to your strengths. It's meant to basically tell a prospective hirer, or hiring manager or something, why you are the most important person for this position. So that's really kind of the framework I want you to have as you start going into this resume work is what tells people, the most important things about me professionally. And again, professionally, don't talk about how many dogs you have or the names of your kids or what church you go to. None of that should be on a resume unless it's absolutely essential to understand for your professional background. So the resume is there to speak to your professional accomplishments, your professional abilities, your experience, all those things that make you the best candidate for a given position. Cover letter is much the same way. You're going to have a cover letter for every single position that you apply for. You're going to have a new one. You're going to have a different one. Yes, you actually are. You're not going to have just one kind of boilerplate thing where you just change the name and send it out. No, you're going to have something that's going to be very specific to each position. Why does that matter? Well, when you look at a job opening and you're going to see all the requirements listed there, you want your cover letter to address as many, if not all, of those requirements. You really want that. You want the cover letter to speak very briefly in 1 page. You want it to speak to why you are the one, and only you are the one who can fill this position. Yes, I know other people can fill it too, but basically that's kind of the framework you want to have, is the cover letter speaks to why you matter for this position more than anything else. So I'm not going to say any more right now. I'll have a lot more to say about resumes and cover letters throughout this week, but that's kind of in a nutshell what we're going to be going over this week. I'm going to have another discussion post, or I'm sorry, in the discussion post, I'm going to have another video there that's going to speak more about resumes. So definitely make sure you watch that, and looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table this week, folks. Thanks.